All right, guys, let's talk about the 9 versus 10 matchup in the Western Conference. We've got the New Orleans Pelicans at home taking on the Thunder. The Pelicans currently 5-point home favorites. I had them estimated as a 5.5-point home favorite. The Pelicans, 27 and 14 at home this season, a pretty good home record. Been playing pretty well in New Orleans. Overall, guys, 42 and 40 though, have struggled all season with injuries. We all know they've been out without their star player Zion Williamson since early January, and they were also out without Brandon Ingram, their second star player, for long stretches. He was also out for a couple months, I think. The team managed to hold on, and in the last 10 games of the regular season, even though they did have an extremely tough schedule, they did manage to get the wins that they needed, and they found a way into the play-in tournament. One of the teams that actually left out the Mavs, the Dallas Mavs, the very disappointing Mavs. The Pelicans guys, in their last game of the regular season, they were in Minnesota in a game that they needed to get. They were actually up in that ball game for the majority of the game. At halftime, they were up comfortably. In the second half, they were playing at an advantage since the Timberwolves, we know in the second half of that game, were playing without two of their starters that started the game but ended up in the second half and not being with the team. Jaden McDaniels, we know, punched the wall in the head into the locker room, broke his hand. And Rudy Gobert, we know, punched his teammate, also didn't play in the second half of that ball game, which does make that loss by the Pelicans a little troubling, in my opinion. A game that I think they should have put away and they didn't. And also, guys, their previous ball games before that, the game against the Knicks, a very shorthanded Knicks team that they almost ended up losing, and a game before that against the Grizzlies, just some very shaky performances. Hasn't really resulted in too many bad losses for them, but the inconsistency and the downtrend is kind of visible in their play. Of course, them being at home is an advantage, and especially against an Oklahoma City Thunder team, guys. This is going to be their first appearance in the postseason ever since the Russell Westbrook days. They've missed the postseason since that loss to the Rockets in the 1920 season. They've been rebuilding ever since then, and they've done a fantastic job rebuilding, guys. They do have a nice young core, a lot of high-quality players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the top scorers in the league, averaging 31 a game. The best player, guys, in this game, of course, between the two teams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player that is going to be in this game. The Thunder, guys, another thing I like about the Thunder, they look like a team that plays with no pressure, despite them being extremely young in age and inexperience. They've shown that they've gone into a lot of hostile environments and managed to perform. Doesn't look like they let the pressure get to them. In my opinion, guys, in this ball game, the shaky performances of the Pelicans as of late, also the pressure of them being at home, and this being a knockout game. I don't know, guys. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder know they have nothing to lose in this game, everything to gain. They're going to be getting their first taste of postseason play with this young core. I do expect them to be very competitive. I don't know if they can win this game straight up, since it is their first appearance. I would not be surprised if they did. But in this ball game, guys, I'm going to be looking to take the Thunder here, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the +5. I think this game is going to be competitive. Expect a nice one and very entertaining game. I like the Thunder here. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the young Thunder here with the +5.